Do I get greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Learning the Ropes. I'm XLJ, the OG,
And I'm Mr. B-Roll.
and we got another fun-filled, action-packed, stupendous episode for you tonight. And I mean, we got a lot of stuff we're talking about. It's a pretty cool topic we're talking about, but I don't know about you, Mr. B-Roll, but I just feel like, I don't know, not a whole lot happened in wrestling this week, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was relatively just such a boring week in wrestling. Yeah. Like,
not newsworthy at all.
Not newsworthy, drama-free.
Very drama-free.
Everything happened exactly according to plan. And
oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Yeah, it was definitely a crazy one. This is what I want to get across the point, though, for this past week in wrestling. If I could just stress this. Everybody, let's just enjoy. We got a hell of a week ahead of us. We've got wrestling shows every day of the week next week, and some twice daily. Just enjoy it, man. It's not about is WWE or AEW or Impact or Ring of Honor or New Japan who's better than the other. It's not about that. Just enjoy the wrestling. Love it, because it's going to be an awesome week. So that's the main point I wanted to get across. But it's also been a crazy week for us, too, especially for you, Mr. B-Roll, and you and your buddy now, Mr. Chris Van Fleet.
Oh, my gosh.
Tell us about that.
Don't get me started. What's up, Hambone?
Sexy thick boys.
That's right.
That is a compliment coming from the Wrestle Talk drip god. I'll take it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but I don't know. I literally thought I was going crazy is what I thought, because I couldn't find the comments. So yeah, pretty cool of him to
But it's pretty cool that he commented though back to you. So pretty awesome.
Hey, I invited him on here, so we'll see what happens. He's a busy guy, but we'll see.
Busy guy, but you never know. So, well, as we always like to do when we start our show, we like to kick it off with a good old-fashioned Plug-a-Palooza from the hype man himself, Mr. B-Roll. So, Mr. B-Roll, why don't you tell us what all we got going on, what we got cooking, if you will, sir.
What we got cooking. Oh, man. Starting with the Plug-a-Palooza and pulling the curtain back, we had a ton of technical difficulties. 3 minutes before we were starting the show. Everything was fine until 3 minutes before the show, and it's ridiculous. So this week
on Cool TV, what's going on?
What's going on Cool TV? Well, we got a couple of episodes coming up for you this week. Let's see. So we've got an I'm Your Huckleberry Hot Ones edition.
Oh my God.
Hot Ones brings back bad memories. You're gonna want to check this one out. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's so we did the Hot Ones Wings challenge initially. So it's I don't know if y'all seen it, but you can go to your grocery store just about anywhere and buy it's pretty cool. It's the boneless wings, I think it is, and it comes with 3 different sauces. But yeah, this episode's a little bit of a doozy. And then on Friday, it's coming up. It is upon us, All Out. So you can check out our All Out prediction shows. Yeah, are we paying attention tonight too? I honestly, I hate to say this, but I have not. I know some of the matches that are going on. Was kind of just checking my phone periodically, but I don't know about tonight's results or anything. So, but I know Trevor Murdoch and Titus are going at it for the world title.
Yeah,
it's the 10 pounds of gold, and then I think Nick Aldis and Flip Gordon's tonight. That women's tag match for the women's tag belts. Camille's man, I forget her challenger already, but it's that one gal. She's pretty badass. She's got the Viking warrior gimmick. But we'll probably try to check in that periodically, hopefully, because this is the first time I can recall where we've done a Learning the Ropes where we've been up against a pay-per-view. So
yeah. I mean, I honestly probably would have only watched it for the Bully Ray match.
That's right. That's tonight too. Bully Ray and Mike Knox in the tables. I think.
I
can't
don't know.
remember. Anyways, so that's what we got going on for Cole TV this week. But as we mentioned it, we're doing that All Out prediction show, and we are heading to Chicago, folks. We are going to be there for All Out weekend, and the week after is going to be an amazing, crazy, busy week on Cole TV. We're going to have vlogs from all that. Camille and Taya was the main event of night one. Okay, nice.
What's
Oh,
up,
it was
Ruth?
last
We're
night.
over on
Shit,
we're
I
over on
missed
the
it.
Twitch. Get your butt over there. Roll on over there. We're rolling over there.
I'm assuming probably Bully Ray won that one. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and look. I'll be honest with y'all. I actually am starting a new job tomorrow, so I've been like kind of getting ready. Thank you, sir. So I've been getting ready to get going for that. So yeah, it's been a little crazy weekend in my house, but yeah, we've got All Out Week coming to you next week on Cole TV, and it's going to be freaking awesome. We're going to have vlogs from Rampage. We're going to have vlogs from the Fan Fest. We're going to have a vlog from GCW's Art of War Games 2, and of course, All Out itself, and so much more fun in between. So you guys will want to check that out. Not this week, but next week. I know.
I'm so stoked for my first GCW show.
Oh, you're going to love it.
I think my head is
awesome.
going to explode.
Yeah, and you're going to see a War Games match too. So hell
okay.
yeah! And we're going to talk about War Games tonight since we're talking about factions. But
yeah.
Also, how about you tell me about some of that merch, Mr. B-Roll?
That's right. We got to get back on this Plug-A-Palooza because we've been going here, there, and everywhere. But guess what?
Check out the shirt.
Yeah, learning the ropes. Y'all, you can still save 20% by use code CELEBRATE20. Did I get that right? It's Celebrate 20 this time, right? I think so.
Yes.
Celebrate 20. Okay. You get 20% off up until August 30th. So you got a couple more days to save 20% off all your Cole TV merch. So go get you a shirt. Go get you a Learning the Ropes shirt, a Cole TV shirt, or a Cole TV hat. Don't really care. Just get yourself some freaking merch.
That's right. And what up to my brother from another mother, Wheels, in the house, and Brett, I always mess your name up. I'm so sorry. And not your legs, Wheels. Oh, Wheels. So, yes, get your merch. Don't forget about that. And also, hey, if you haven't done so already, you need to subscribe to the Panda Wrestling Company Twitch channel here that we're on. And did you know, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can get a subscription for free. That's right, free. So you should do that if you haven't done so already. And also, it's got amazing content other than us content creators. And Mr. B-Roll, tell us about some of that exciting news, because who is available now here on the Panda Wrestling Company?
Well, I'm a firm believer in you miss all the shots you don't take. So
you got to know people. And Mr. B-Roll, you know some people.
Yeah, I reached out to Warrior Wrestling, and yeah, they said yes. And so we now have you now have the rights to stream Warrior Wrestling. So that
is right. That's badass.
Go.
And we've been to a couple of their shows. Their shows are awesome. They get some of the best talent from all around. I mean, they've had everybody in there from Will Ospreay to Tom Lawler to Davey Richards, Fuego del Sol, Mike Bennett, Karrion Kross or Killer Kross, Brian Pillman Jr., Silas Young, Thunder Rosa, Athena, Sky Blue. The list just goes on and on.
My personal favorite, Beast Man.
Oh, I love me some Beast Man. I thought you were going to say Dante Martin, your boy.
Yeah, my boy. He is my boy.
Yes, okay. He is. And speaking of awesome content, we got a very special announcement coming for you here later in the show about our next week's episode of Learning the Ropes. You're going to want to stick around because this is freaking going to be some real exciting, awesome news. But we'll get to that in a little bit.
I don't even know if I know this.
Yeah, I think you do. You should. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't.
I don't remember it. Okay, and we got one last thing to plug because we're taking 10 minutes on the Plug-A-Palooza.
What's that you got there?
Oh, yeah. Rootless coffee, baby. Rootless coffee, because it's a
damn good coffee.
Fine cup of coffee.
Oh, damn fine cup of coffee.
And candle. And candle.
That's a pretty cool candle.
It is. And, dude, dude, not gonna lie, it smells amazing. Smell it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Through the power of the internet.
Yeah.
Hey, I do have some news actually that you don't know about, that nobody knows about. I've got, just to end up Plugapalooza here, I got a brand new sponsor for us. That's right. Nobody knows about this except for me. And this is so cool because this is making a comeback, all right? I am talking about, you remember the old wrestling hotlines? Well, that's right. I got a new 1-900 hotline coming to you. And let me pull it up for you. We're live, pal. Give me just a second here. I got the information for you. This is going to blow your mind.
Okay. So I'll just address this question while you're getting that ready. No, we are not doing our traditional show next week, but
we got something special planned.
But you're going to have to stick around to the end to
you know what
it is, or just go ahead.
I'm feeling generous. Should we just go ahead and pull the cat out of the bag?
Okay, I'll go ahead and pull the cat out of the bag while you're still working on that. Yeah, we plan. So TikTok, you be listening to, because we're over on the Twitch, Panda Wrestling Company. Links in the bio if you want to go check it out. All right. We plan to do not just a learning the ropes, but a all-out post-show live from the Now Arena.
This is huge. Yeah. We're doing a post-show live there after it happens. See all the madness, all the chaos. And I can tell you from personally going last year, that crowd afterwards was so hot, like in a good way. It's just like it's like a high unlike any other. It really is.
That's what we're gonna try to do. We're gonna try to maybe be like some beat reporters and get the thoughts of the people on the streets. Like, are they gonna riot because CM Punk lost again, or oh man,
or is that match even happening?
Or is my boy Hangman gonna get the belt again? Like, you know.
All right, Mr. B-Roll, I think I got it pulled up if you're ready.
I'm ready. I hope I clicked the right one. Well, that's not it. This is like some what's that movie? This is like some Inception crap. I'm gonna remove that for you.
Already the technical difficulties are kicking our ass on this show tonight.
It's true.
You want to try it again? Hey, CDC, we're hoping to see you there, bud. You need to come on, man. Hopefully get to see you and Russell. Like, and anybody from the Panda Wrestling Company, we want to see you. Hell, hopefully we can see Panda. You know, all of y'all.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean, I would say this. I mean, I don't feel I'm really to that point, but if you see me and you do recognize me from TikTok, or you recognize XLJ the OG from TikTok, you can feel free to say hi. Like, we're not going to bite you. We're not going to turn around and backslap you or anything like that. Like, we're pretty cool. We're big teddy bears.
That's right.
Okay. You were still there for a second. I thought you were frozen. It scared the crap out of me.
No, I'm trying to get this damn thing to work.
Okay.
I'm going to try one more thing. We may just have to kill this. I don't know.
You know.
Internet.
You know how it is. If you're over on the TikTok, we are live over on the Panda Wrestling Company Twitch channel. You should come and check us out, because not only you won't just have to see my beautiful face, you get to see XLJ the OG's beautiful face. So he needs some love.
I think I got the audio possibly from this, so you just want to go ahead and let's share it.
I can see it, so I think we're going to be good now.
Okay, tell me when you're ready, pal.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. That did not go as planned.
Okay, we're all right, one more try and then we'll... Okay.
2, 1.
Here, have I got a scoop for you, Hotline fans. Controversy has
All right, we're gonna kill it. We gotta get going. Sorry, folks. We had a pretty funny bit planned for you, but I tell you what, look for it on my TikTok tomorrow. I'll show you. So.
Or did we save it? Did we save it?
We gotta get going. So
yeah,
let's talk about tonight's topic. What we're getting into here. We're talking about factions. That's right. We're going to talk about some of the best factions and some of the worst of all time. And interestingly enough, this is a topic you kind of brought up to me, Mr. B-Roll, that you wanted to talk about.
Yes, because I love me some factions, dude. I love me some factions. I just do.
Yeah. So, you know me. I'm a big proponent, a big believer of the origins. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the heck was going on there, but we're moving on, and I think we are golden now, I hope.
Like, is it our voices or was it the video?
Well, I don't think it was playing the video, but yeah, the hell with it. So, but the origins, let's talk about. So, believe it or not, really, like, factions didn't even get started until around the 70s. And do you know what the first faction was that was really, like, of notoriety? Believe it or not, it was the First Family, based out of Memphis. And it was led by Jimmy Hart, essentially. That's right, the Mouth of the South himself. And pretty much, it was just a big group of guys all throughout the years that just kind of came in and just feuded with Jerry Lawler, essentially. Is really what it was. But you had a ton of people in this faction. You had everybody from Ox Baker to King Kong Bundy, Austin Idol, Kamala, Randy Savage, Kevin Sullivan, Eddie Gilbert, and even Andy Kaufman, just to name a few. So that was the first real big faction. But if you look at the history of factions, like really when they first started, it was all about it was kind of all evolving around the manager. Because it was and they were essentially all heel groups. So it was all about the heel bad guy manager managing different groups of wrestlers, and that's how they kind of were all brought together. Listen to some of these factions, sure. You have Paul Jones's Army. You have Paul Ellering with the Legion of Doom. Now, I'm not talking about the Road Warriors. Now, the Road Warriors were in this faction, but there was other wrestlers such as Jake the Snake Robert, King Kong Bundy, just to name a few. Also, Skandar Akbar's Devastation Incorporated. I know that puts fear into your heart, right? Makes your knees weak, Mr. B-Roll.
Oh, yeah. My legs are shaking under the desk here, so, yeah.
Yeah. How about Colonel Robert Parker's Stud Stable? Now, this was interesting with that group because really it started, of course, Colonel Parker, Robert Fuller, started in the Continental Wrestling and just kind of transitioned years later. They kind of recycled it, so to speak, in WCW, where it was Colonel Robert Parker, which I love me some Colonel Parker. Just say it. Or how about Ted DiBiase's The $1 Million Corporation, or James E. Cornette's Camp Cornette, but probably the best faction from a manager was Bobby Heenan and Heenan's Family. I think that was one of my all-time favorites, man. I love me some Bobby Heenan. Sign me up all day and every day. One of the funniest just wrestling personalities of all time. Dare I say, I feel like my comedic styling, which I think I kind of have, I don't know. But a lot of that, I feel like, comes from Bobby Heenan. Google him in a swimsuit. Yeah. You know what? Here's a funny story. Check this out. Right on my desk. Got Bobby Heenan in the weasel suit. Look at that. I love me some Bobby. The great Bobby the Brain Heenan. So, but, of course, Mr. B-Roll, we're talking to factions. What's the very first faction that comes to mind, though? And let me tell you, that is this right here. You know what this is a symbol of, right, Mr. B-Roll? It's a symbol of excellence. That's right. We got to talk about the Four Horsemen, dude. The Four Horsemen was the first real faction that was just main event level guys, top tier guys. And it's amazing how that started because it was still kind of with the concept of Heenan's Family was stacked with Andre, Haku, Ravishing Rick Rude, the Barbarian later on. Oh my gosh, Hercules early on. I mean, you could just go on and on and on. Oh, you were talking about Parker. Oh, I bet that was a sight to see because Colonel Robert Parker or Robert Fuller was notoriously known for, let's just say, packing some heat. If you know what I'm saying, brother. The man's very well endowed. I went there. So, but no, man, the Horsemen. So, how they got started was initially an interview, really, because it was like they put the heels together, and then like Arn Anderson coined the phrase "the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse," and there you go. And J.J. Dillon at the time was managing Tully Blanchard, just ended up managing the rest of them. So it wasn't necessarily built upon like Tully managing all those guys. It was really built on like the promos of just them guys working together and having the incredible chemistry that they've had. All right, Mr. B-Roll, are you ready for a pop quiz?
Already? We're like only 20 minutes in.
Hey, we got to make up for time. Lost time here with our technical difficulties, my friend. Okay. I'm going to name a wrestler. And I want you to, this is going to be easy. I'm going to name a wrestler. And you, true or false, were they in the Four Horsemen? Okay. That's easy enough. You got a 50-50 shot.
I'm going to catch so much heat because I'm guaranteed to get at least one wrong.
Oh, my God. Okay. Dude is baby arms holding an apple. Yeah. He got a big dick. What could we say? I think he may give Batista a run for his money. So,
can you say that on the internet?
I just did. All right, boy, we're just all over the place. I love this shit, don't you, sir?
Yes, I do.
We go from talking about penises to name me if they're a horseman or not. Okay, were they a Four Horsemen? Sting, was he a horseman?
No.
That is incorrect. Sting was a horseman, believe it or not. Very short time frame, but he was a horseman. What did I walk into? Well, yeah. Hey, I'm learning the ropes. We just have fun like that.
This is what you call learning the ropes after dark.
That's what happens when you have technical difficulties. You go to phallic humor, essentially, because we got nothing else left in the tank. No, I'm just kidding. That one was incorrect, but that's okay. Eddie Guerrero, was he a horseman?
No.
That is correct. He was not a horseman. All right. I think you'll get this one. Was Jeff Jarrett a horseman? And in case you didn't know, that's JEFFJARRETT.
No, he wasn't.
I actually agree with that statement, but technically it is incorrect. Because there was a time when, like, it was kind of back and forth. I don't know. That's kind of a tricky one. I'm going to give you a pass on that one, essentially. So it's not a plus. It's not a minus. You get nothing. So
I was just basing that off of the fact, like, well, him and Ric Flair just, had the match. So,
but there was story to it because it was like Jeff Jarrett was just like, I was a horseman. Ric Flair's like, the hell if you were. So, like, pretty much storyline wise, it was like, this was going through kind of a shitty period for the Horsemen because the NWO is just running roughshod, essentially. And it was like Arn Anderson pretty much had to retire. So it was really just, there was 3 members, and then Jeff Jarrett was kind of petitioning to be a Horseman. And it was part of the group, but he kind of wasn't. I don't know. It was weird. Weird time. It's WCW. So there you go. All right. Football player Kevin Green.
Sure, because you wouldn't have put that on there if it wasn't but to stump me.
That is incorrect. Kevin Green wasn't in it, but football player Steve Mongo McMichael was a Four Horseman.
This is my worst pop quiz ever.
It's okay. The technical difficulties and talking about phalluses, that's really threw you off, so it's okay.
This is why we call it learning the ropes.
You're learning. That's right. All right. Next pop quiz is going to be like, who has the bigger dick? I'm sorry. You're a little red in the face there.
I'll bring my ruler.
Okay. Gene Anderson. Was he a horseman? Gene Anderson. Because Arn Anderson was a horseman.
I don't even know. Sure. Yes, true.
That
Nope.
was incorrect.
Yeah.
Ole Anderson was the answer we were looking for, not Gene, Ole. What about Pretty Paul Roma? Was Paul Roma a horseman?
No. Am I
I'm
right?
sorry, my friend. That is incorrect. Paul Roma was a horseman. It's okay. You're going to get this next one. I know you will.
Ric Flair?
Lex Luger. Was Lex Luger a horseman?
No. Yes.
Yes, he was a horseman. We're going to count that. Give you a mercy one. Bret Hart. Was Bret Hart a horseman? Oh, Mongo matches. Yeah, poor Mongo. I feel bad for Mongo now, though, with all the stuff he's going through health-wise. But in ring, yeah, it was harder than hell to watch.
So Bret Hart.
Bret Hart, was he a horseman?
I'm gonna say no. And
You are correct.
yay!
Barry Windham. Was Barry Windham a horseman?
Yes.
Hell yeah, he was one of the great horsemen of all time. Last one,
Thank you, Busted Open.
There you go. Somebody listening. Last one. Kurt Hennig. Was he a horseman?
Kurt Hennig, isn't he a country singer?
Mr. Oh my God, you went there. Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. Was he a horseman?
No.
You're correct. Although he came close to being one, but he wasn't officially one. So by my tally, we're going to only count that you missed 5.
I didn't pass. I didn't pass.
It's okay. It's okay. So you did, the horseman, that's kind of like a long time ago, essentially. So you're going to get a pass.
Honestly, as you can tell from my answers, I don't know that much about them, other than I knew Ric Flair and Arn Anderson were 100% for sure in them.
Well, that's the most important ones right there. Like the best 4 of all time, and a lot of people say this, is Arn, Tully, Barry Windham, and Ric Flair. So not even the original incarnation.
So if you want to, those in the chat, if you want to cheer me up, go buy our merch.
There you go.
Go buy our merch.
Cheer him up, buy some merch, and also too, like, I'll make sure I won't make him watch any Mongo McMichaels. Good evening, Husky.
And I'll
How
make
the hell are you, sir?
If you go over to Sweet Dollface Creations and buy our merch, I will take a shot.
I'm surprised you haven't already started drinking.
I'm about to.
This show's off the rails, but it's okay. Wouldn't have it any other way.
That's right.
Shit, you're not fucking around. Okay. All right, man. I appreciate that. I got to work in the morning, but
so do I.
I have some. Oh, yeah, you do. YOLO! Recovering from your show.
We're not even done.
Good to have you with us tonight. Damn. All right. Well, Husky, you've already missed us talking about Colonel Robert Parker's penis and Mr. B-Roll failing miserably at a horseman test, and now he just did a shot. So, and some technical difficulties along the way. So there you go. That sums up the first half hour here on Learning the Ropes. So, but we're having fun. So, all right. The horseman, though. Like, the thing is with the horseman, there were so many different interpretations of them all throughout the years. But I mean, the most dominant run was in the 80s. Like they were like the perfect heel bad guys, man. Like you just perfect. They always beating the shit out of Dusty Rhodes, just dominating him. One of my favorite, I think, clips of the Horsemen's when they were just they were literally chasing. They were following Dusty Rhodes in like a car, and literally pulled into a parking lot and just beat the shit out of him. And then proceeded to like break his arm, and it was like in graphic detail, but it wasn't like graphic in like by today's standards, I'd say. But it was just like the way it was presented and shot, and just like you see the image where they're closing the car door on him, and it like freeze frames, and then all you hear is Dusty Rhodes like screaming in agony. Like seeing that shit as a kid, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like right up there with like a terrifying moment, like when Jake Roberts snake bit the Macho Man or something. But anyways, You get the Horsemen into the 90s, though, and it's kind of like, and then 93, when they got kind of reunited, that was a shit show. I did like the group in the 95, I think it was, on Rampage. Dustin turned heel a bit and maybe drop the makeup and form a stable with Pillman. That would be badass. I can get behind that. Dustin's still got a lot in the tank too, man. Rachel Ellering, that would be dope. I'd love to see her because I think she's just doing indies now. I don't think she's signed to Impact anymore.
Yeah,
I could totally see that, and that'd help out the women's division tremendously. Rachel Ellering's very talented.
We're not only talking about past factions, we're talking about great new ones. So there you go.
Yeah, I love that idea. Let's sign me up.
Send royalty checks to Hambone himself.
Yeah, that would be freaking awesome, man. I would love to see that. That's and that's one thing I wish they would do kind of more. They kind of did with Best Friends with having Chris Statlander in it. There you go, represent. But seeing more like females as part of factions, or what about like an all-female faction? I mean, I guess you got Jade Cargill and the Baddies, but
and Britt and her crew.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, well, let's talk about that. We're kind of going off the rails here a little bit, but
we do what we want.
We do what we want. That's all right. What actually makes a faction up? I feel like the rule of thumb is you got to have more than 2 people. I mean, 3 is a trios, obviously. I feel like, and I guess it's because the most dominant time for factions, I feel like, was the 90s, because that's when gang warfare came into place, which we're going to talk about that here in a little bit too. But for me, I feel like you need at least 4 to be considered a real faction. 3 you can get by with, but it's just not quite the same. Yeah. What's your thoughts, Mr. B-Roll?
I mean, you see it a lot of times, 3 with a manager sometimes too. So, I guess I would count that. I think 4 is good though. 4 is a good, and then if you add a female into it too, I do feel like there should be. It doesn't have to be in every faction, but there should be. I think Jamie Hayter should join Blackpool Combat Club, and I've said it for months now.
That'd be dope.
So, there you go.
That would be cool as shit.
And I think
one last thing. This is completely off topic here. We're talking about Best Friends. Tony Khan, AEW. I'm begging you. When Chris Statlander gets back, put the title on her. I feel like that's kind of where the trajectory was going. But, oh, man, I love me some Chris Statlander for more than one reason. Yeah, I went there. Sorry. Oh, yes. Oh, we're going to be talking about some DOA, the Los Puerto Ricans and the Nation, the Truth Commission. Oh, yeah. Led by the Jackal, a.k.a. somebody Mr. B-Roll, as Don Callis, when he had long, flowing, and luscious, beautiful hair.
Well, that's just hard to imagine.
There you go. So I was talking about trios. Let's talk about the birth of trios. And where did it really start with? Well, started a little place.
I know this one.
Okay.
We talked about this in the past episode.
Do you remember?
From our tag team episode, so week 1. The Freebirds.
There you go. Bad Street USA, baby. The fabulous Freebirds.
Does that redeem my quiz? A little bit?
Extra credit. Credit. But guess what? Spoiler alert. Kind of got another quiz for you here before the end of the night.
Crap.
Hey, there was a week where we didn't do a quiz, so we're making up for time.
Dang it.
You're lucky I didn't give you a homework assignment for this week, so that's 2 weeks by. But you'll just wait and see, Mr.
You just figured I'd be too busy with All Out, so.
I know you're going to be, as am I. Anyway, it's been said time in and time out, the fabulous Freebirds, way ahead of their time. So innovative. Just coming out with the music, with their style, just the Freebird rule, where they could interswitch members. I mean, the fabulous Freebirds, they were the shit. They were freaking awesome. all could cut promos, all could go in the ring. I mean, Michael P.S. Hayes. I mean, we joke about him, with the way he's kind of like still has that 20-year-old like soul, but in a 60 or I don't know how old Michael is now, but at least 60, I'd say 60-year-old's body. And then we talked about great big man, one of the greatest of all times, Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Holy shit. Michael. I love Terry Gordy's voice, man, and just like how he sounded like so innocent, but at the same time too, he'd like rip your arms off if you pissed him off the wrong way. And here's the thing: as great as those guys, Buddy Roberts may have been the most talented one out of the group, and that's saying something. So, the kudos to the Freebirds and introducing the Freebird rule and everything else they did. But there's been a lot of great trios teams over the years. Of course, a lot of people compare this group to them current day. We're talking about the New Day. I know you love the New Day, right, Mr. B-Roll? How could you not like the New Day?
Yeah, I mean, how could you not like them? How could you not love them?
Hopefully, Big E is doing okay. My understanding, he's doing okay. But there is some serious thoughts. Not sure if he will wrestle again. I hope that's not the case, but most importantly, I hope he's going to be safe the rest of his life and like live a comfortable life. But time will tell on that. But I'd love to see me some Big E back with Kofi and Xavier Woods. So some other trios, one of my favorite, how about the Brood? Loved Christian, Edge, and Gangrel. Oh, man. Thank you, Chasman Flover,
Thank you for
following you, the man or woman, or you're awesome. Let's put it that way.
And if you have Prime, you can subscribe for free.
Because there's more to Prime. Do they still do that commercial?
What?
Okay, never mind. The Brood, though, seriously, like Vampire Group was awesome. Come up through the Ring of Fire, and Gangrel just bobbing his head. Oh, it was awesome. Now, funny story, like Gangrel was supposed to be like the kind of the leader of that group and also kind of be the mouthpiece. And like he's supposed to cut a promo, and it was just kind of like he got all frozen up and shit. And then Edge ended up cutting the promo for him. And well, we all know how great the Rated R Superstar is. That was terrible. I'm sorry. But Edge, Edge is pretty awesome. That group was awesome. And it's been cool to see Edge kind of bring back the gimmick with some of his entrances and stuff. The Job Squad, the JOB Squad, well, were they a trio? Let's see. You had Al Snow, Hardcore Holly, Flash Funk, Blue Meanie. So a faction for sure. But, oh, man, the Job Squad. Short-lived, and there's a reason behind that. But, hey, you did get a great Al Snow out of it. You gave him a little something. And if you think about it, really kind of brought Hardcore Holly to light, because at that point he was still kind of just coming off being Sparky Plug the Racer into being the badass. Oh, God. Yeah, they had Gilbert. Shit. Gilbert. My wife, like, still, like, will quote that every now and then, and she doesn't even watch wrestling, but she remembers that from watching the Attitude Era back in the day as a kid. So, yeah, Gilbert was in there, too, with the Job Squad, the JOB Squad. Oh, man. Which we're going to be talking about them slightly here in a little bit. Because that's going to be part of your next quiz, Mr. B-Roll. Okay, oh, yeah. Too Cold Scorpio, Flash Funk. Yeah. Scooby-Doo.
I think he's singing your...
yeah, I did sound like Scooby-Doo instead of... yeah. Ooh, I'll take it. That was even worse. How about the Legacy? I like the Legacy, man. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase Jr. Oh, man. They weren't around for a long period of time. I mean, they at least had a good run for about a year and a half. But I liked the Legacy. I thought that was good, and it did wonders for Cody and Ted. Of course, Ted ended up retiring. Mr. B-Roll, have you ever heard Cody Rhodes tell the story about the time where he had a tag match with Ted DiBiase on a SmackDown, and they had to like edit the crap out of it?
No, I haven't heard that story.
Okay, I gotta tell you real quick. And this was kind of like after the Legacy broke up, but if I remember correctly, it was Cody, Ted DiBiase, and maybe The Miz, I want to say, or something. I can't remember. It's another heel. And they were going up against Ezekiel Jackson, Daniel Bryan. It was Wade Barrett. It was Wade Barrett with Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes, and they were going against Daniel Bryan, Ezekiel Jackson, and shit, now I'm forgetting the other. But anyways, you get the idea. So ends up, like, I think it was less than 2 minutes into the match, Daniel Bryan ended up like pinning Ted DiBiase, and it was like not supposed to be the finish. It was supposed to go. The match was supposed to go past 2 segments, so they royally messed it up. So pretty much like Ted DiBiase gets into the back. Oh, Rey Mysterio. Okay, yeah, that's right. Thanks, Wheels. So anyways, Ted DiBiase like gets in the back, and Cody's back there, and Vince is just like, "Oh, what the hell was that all about, pal?" And this is all Ted DiBiase says, and verbatim: "That referee fucked on me." What? Say that again? That referee fucked on me. Whatever the hell that means. Ministry of Darkness, Hambone. Very nice. Yes. What about, let me ask you this, how you feel about the corporate ministry? Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the corporate ministry, but I did love the Ministry of Darkness. And Hambone's talking about there in the Attitude Era. Man, and you had The Undertaker, of course, as the leader, along with Paul Bearer. And then they had Midian, Viscera, the Acolytes, to name a few. Even the Brood was part of it. So it was a dope-ass faction. We'll talk a little bit more about them when we're talking about some of the Attitude Era factions as well. But I want to talk about
in so little time.
I know, right? I want to talk about a couple more trios teams, and this next one I know is one of your favorites. We got to talk about, and this may be controversial because there was another dude in it, but I'm still going with it. The Wyatt family. I know you like you some Wyatt family. Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan.
Yeah, I love the Wyatt. Yeah.
And yes, I'm omitting Braun Strowman. I know, but I'm just going with it. I'm not a Braun Strowman guy. I know you have him on a T-shirt. Let me tell you something. This may be a hot take, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. The fact that they made a shirt from, what was that? You got that from Pro Wrestling Tees or Pro Wrestling Crate?
Pro Wrestling Crate.
Pro Wrestling Crate, and they put on that shirt, Andre the Giant and Braun Strowman. I find that insulting. So, didn't mind the corporate ministry. Okay. Yeah. A lot of Vince Austin stuff. That's good. That is true. So these are all facts from Hambone. Yeah. I don't like Braun Strowman. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of him. Like, he's okay. Just, it wasn't for me. There, I said my piece. I'm done. Now, of course,
talk about Shawn Michaels.
Don't bring up Shawn Michaels.
We're not there yet.
Hulk Hogan, and we're good. So, but I know. I'm pretty sure Hambone is a big Shawn Michaels fan. So, hey, that's cool, man. You know.
So stick around, Hambone.
Because he's just a sexy bone, sexy Hambone.
Stick around till we get to D-Generation X.
Oh, I omitted DX from this. Are you kidding me? We're going to be talking DX shit. All right, one last trios I want to talk about. What a trios team this was. What's that? I hear India, Delta, Echo, talking about the Shield. What a group of main eventers these guys were. Oh, Bray Wyatt is overrated as the Fiend. I'm not going to argue that, Mr. Midwest 99. And HBK is your all-time favorite. I can respect that, Hambone. I'll give you one guess who probably my all-time favorite was. I'm a Bret Hart guy, so it's cool. Yeah, you can't deny that, HBK. But no, the Fiend, do you feel the Fiend is overrated, Mr. B-Roll?
A little bit. But I like the Bray Wyatt gimmick better than the Fiend. And
I think the Fiend is more for a cinematic purpose, obviously. among those lines. I enjoy the character. I mean, I feel like it's going to be a foregone conclusion that he does come back to WWE in some capacity. I would love to see like kind of a combination of those characters, kind of like what they used to do with Finn Balor.
Yeah.
When like he would become the demon like every now and then, especially for big matches stuff. That I think that would be cool. But him as the Fiend all the time, yeah, it's just a little too much. But I will say this with him. I absolutely love the fact that they utilize, probably in my opinion, the greatest cinematic makeup artist of all time, Tom Savini. I'm a big horror guy, and I love me some Tom Savini. Yeah.
I think when he does come back, because I think he's coming back, so I'm saying when. I think he should come back as the Fiend. I think
yes,
as the Fiend, because it's going to be a big moment, like you were saying, and then say he comes back at Clash of the Castle, have him come back at Clash of the Castle, interfere or something, and then on Monday night, he's not the Fiend, he's like Bray Wyatt.
Now let me ask you this though, or do we get Bray Wyatt as the Cajun, kind of that Deliverance kind of character, or do we get like Bray Wyatt like Firefly Funhouse? Oh, that's a good idea. I like that, Hambone. The three faces.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that there.
That's
Hambone,
perfect.
Yeah, Hambone just kind of answered my question for me, so I'm just gonna leave that there for a minute, and yeah.
That's a hell of an idea. I can dig it, man.
I feel like we just need to have Hambone on this show sometime. So
I feel like that's a must, man. I think we need to have him on here, and we got to have the Wrestle Talk drip god, right? But hey, the Shield though. I do want to acknowledge the Shield. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Man, 3 main event guys. I mean, probably the three of the biggest names in wrestling right now. I don't think you can really argue that with Jon Moxley, of course, and AEW, what he's doing. The Summer of Mox that's going on right now. And then Seth Rollins. I mean, just him, yeah, hell yeah. We need to get that scheduled, my friend. It's going to happen.
Don't worry, Hambone. I'll slide into your DMs.
That's what she said. Okay. Anyway, I feel like this is kind of a sexual show tonight. I don't know. That's a weird thing to say out loud, but
it is what it is. We had
all because of Colonel Parker, man.
We had technical difficulties, and we went off the rails, and
oh, Husky, hell yeah! Funny story. So I'm going to pull back the curtain here a little bit. We were actually planning on doing an ECW show the same week you guys did. And when you were like, okay, we're going to do ECW, it's like, okay, let's postpone it and put it off. But we are totally doing an ECW show. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. And we got to have you on, man. So, yeah, no turning back now. Yeah. Oh, man.
But, that is something we want to do. We do want to have guests on.
Yeah, we absolutely do.
We're still just literally just figuring this all out. So
we're learning the ropes, would you say? But the Shield, man, like their utter dominance. Of course, Roman Reigns. I mean, you got to acknowledge the man, right? I mean, he is the man. All right. Getting off the rails. But I feel like that's kind of a reoccurring theme here tonight. So are we going to get – I'm going to throw this out here. And y'all leave comments or chime in on this discussion. I want to know, are we getting Roman Reigns and The Rock at WrestleMania?
Yes.
Okay. Part 2 of this question, is it going to be for the title?
No.
Okay. I kind of agree with that. I don't know if he's going to drop it at Clash at the Castle, but I do feel like it's inevitable at some point. Something will happen to where you're going to get because you don't need the title for that matchup. I mean, that matchup's just so huge. But I think the thing is, it's the WWE title they get off of him. because I think they kind of want to keep the Universal on him just because the fact that he has that long record as far as holding it for wherever he's at now. Because I mean, he's in numbers to where he's like, you're talking like Pedro Morales and Bruno Sammartino, and you think Drew will win at Clash? I do think Cody is going to win the Rumble. That would be cool. But I feel like it's going to be Cody and Seth at Mania. And New Japan, yeah. Hey, CDC, we're totally going to be doing a New Japan show as well. So that is in the near future as well here on
Yes, and I may have already talked to someone else that is a well-known New Japan TikTok content creator about that.
But the more the merrier. So
you knew that, right?
I did. I know who you're talking about. Yes. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, and that's the exciting thing too. Is like, what the hell is going to happen at Clash at the Castle? I mean, that looks like an exciting card. Cross is going to cost him the match, so he doesn't have to lose overseas. Yeah, no reason for Drew to drop it right now. It wouldn't mean anything in your opinion. Yeah, I agree, Hambone. I don't think he drops it there, but I do think they're going to do something convoluted, I think, at some point to get the WWE title. I don't think he loses the Universal title. A matter of fact, dare I say, I think he may go into Mania still with that, but I do think he's going to lose the WWE title. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I think the real reason that's for is because I think the USA Network's like, we want a damn title, damn it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how they get there. My suggestion would be do a triple threat between Roman, Drew, and Cross, and go with the rule set all the way back from WrestleMania 16 or WrestleMania 2000. So there was a three-way they had there where it was for the Intercontinental European title. So it's like a two-fall match. So the first fall would be for like the WWE title or whatever. The second fall could be, for the Universal title or vice versa, I think that's how I would do it, but who knows? But time will tell. And they'll be here before you know it. And just like, man, once again, we talked at this top of the hour, but like, what an amazing week in wrestling that's going to be upcoming.
No kidding.
I mean, holy shit.
I saw a post today, and it broke down from from Saturday, right? Like,
yeah,
NWA Night 1, NWA Night 2, and then Monday Night Raw, and then boom, 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 boom. And like all
Tuesday, you got NXT, Wednesday, Dynamite, Thursday, Impact, Friday, SmackDown, Rampage, Saturday, Clash at the Castle, and GCW Art of War Games 2. Sunday, of course, you're going to have When Worlds Collide and All Out, of course. So,
yeah,
man, what a time to be alive.
A great, yeah. And are we still on the Shield? Is that where we are?
I think that's where we were. So, I don't know. Fuck format now.
Is that this rabbit hole?
Yeah. But we were talking about the Shield and their dominance. And here is your wrestling bullshit fact of the day, because I got to get one in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that the Shield actually started and ended in the same arena? And it was in our hometown, B-roll, at the Conseco Fieldhouse in Indianapolis.
It's not
started at Survivor Series and it ended on a Monday Night Raw.
That's true story. I did know that. True story.
Yeah. So
were you present for any of those?
I wasn't really watching during Survivor Series. I had a friend who did go and who was trying to get me to go, but I wasn't interested. That Raw, I don't believe it was in my thought process to go. So, and they reunited. Was it in Bankers Life too, or Conseco? What the hell is it now, Brent? It's Bankers. No, it's not even Bankers. What are they calling it now?
Bankers anymore.
Yeah. Oh, you were at the heel. That's right, because you're from our neck of the woods, or used to be from fellow Hoosier.
That's right.
Had to get that in, but
hey, Husky.
Hey, Kilroy's missed you, Husky.
Yeah. Oh. Now I'm just thinking about those
pepperoni sticks, baby.
Husky, let me know in the chat, Purdue or IU, or you don't care.
Okay, there you go.
This determines our friendship.
All right, Mr. B-Roll. It's about to that time of the show. I think we need to hit him with a little bit of a Plug-a-Palooza.
Plug-a-Palooza Part 2, yo.
So
All
tell
right.
us, what do we got going on Cole TV this week?
So Cole TV, we are going to have a episode. Oh, hold on. Yes. Me and Husky, we can be best friends. He said IU. Let's go. Let's go. Okay.
I myself am a blue Tar Heel fan, even though I'm not from that state, but I'm just throwing it out there. I love me some Tar Heels.
All right, Plug-a-Palooza. So over on Cole TV this week, which you need to go like and subscribe to, this definitely. I mean, links in my bio. I mean, come on. What are you doing for life if you're not subscribing to us on YouTube? Because you get more of our beautiful faces. You think we go off the rails here? Well, you should see us over there. So we have an episode of I'm Your Huckleberry, Hot Ones edition. Just saying.
It gets a little spicy.
It's a little spicy. One of us may or may not puke.
Maybe.
Maybe not. We also will have an all-out prediction show.
Woo! That's on Friday.
That's on Friday.
Yeah, so...
Huckleberry episode will be on Wednesday. And... Yes. Least we forget, the whole reason we're going to All Out is that following week on Cole TV, it's going to be all out week.
It's going to be awesome. We're going to have vlogs from Rampage. We're going to have vlogs from the Fan Fest, a vlog from GCW, the Art of War Games 2, and of course an All Out vlog, and many more in between. And if you don't know a whole lot about Cole TV, or you hear us talk about this and you want like a taste, how about we give you a little preview right now? So what I want to show you here is a clip from one of our popular shows, The Hunt. And this is from this past week's episode where I went to a toy shop here in Indianapolis called The Toy Drop. So, Mr. B-Roll, I'm ready when you are.
I was born ready.
All right, we're going to head on into the toy drop and see what we can find. And right off the bat, I know this is going to be good because we got Yoda and Creature from the Black Lagoon. Oh, and Boba Fett. And wow, look at those old, like, Super Sentai figures. And a Godzilla, too. This is going to be awesome.
It was.
What did you buy me?
I didn't buy you anything that day, sir.
And who wouldn't want a Juwan Howard or Tim Duncan 12-inch figure?
Almost got you the Juwan Howard
This was
figure.
pretty neat. Some miscellaneous toys, most of them Happy Meal toys, I believe, but 3 for $5. I ain't mad at that.
I'm not even worth $5 to you.
No. Probably not.
Only on Thursdays.
This was a really cool
I always
shop,
love
though.
me some good old-fashioned vintage glasses, which they have here.
Yeah, they had a little bit of everything from like Star Wars, Marvel.
Oh man, I
DC.
remember having these playsets, but seriously, that is a terrible name.
You like to do a little rub and play every
Check
now,
out some of
Mr.
these
B-Roll?
loose G.I. Joe vehicles they have. Now let's see what we got here in the case. A little mix of everything from Ghostbusters to G.I. Joe to Marvel figures to what? A Wild West Cowboys
West Cowboys of Moo
I
Mesa,
had that one
baby!
as a kid.
Yeah, we love that.
There you go. That's just a little snippet of The Hunt.
That was like too organized for a toy store.
Yeah, because we've been into some chaotic ones, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've
But
got
that's
some
okay.
episodes to prove it.
That's okay too, though. Yeah. And as we continue on with our Plug-a-Palooza, we would be naive to not remind you that you can still save 20% on all Cole TV merch over at Sweet Dollface Creation. Links in my bio. It's the same place you can get Panda's merch. So swing on over there, get Panda's merch, support the channel, get some of our merch. Save 20%. I mean, who does not like saving money? All you have to do is use code CELEBRATE20. That sale is going on for just a couple more days, August 30th. And again, if you let me know that you bought some merch while we're doing this episode,
Do a shot.
we'll do a shot. Why not?
He
Why
needs
not?
it to take off the edge, folks. And so I just
Why
saw
not?
a comment, if I could just kind of bring light to. So CDC, you used to work at Conseco, huh? That is interesting. I would be curious to know what like did you do there? What was it like behind the scenes? Let me ask you, were you a boomer? Did you dress up? Did you put the Pacer costume on? Because that's always like I thought would be my dream job from there.
Oh my goodness. Now,
So anyway, sorry to interrupt you, Mr. B-roll.
It's all good. It's all good. The theme of this episode is not factions. It's called Off the Rails. So
there you go.
But yeah, and if you found us here, we're over on the Panda Wrestling Twitch channel. So if you're over here on the TikTok, you need to get your butt over there to watch us so you can see XLJ's beautiful face as well. And I mean, just why the heck not? Yeah, subscribe, follow, you do what you do. Prime.
You do you.
You can get a I almost said prescription. That's how wacky and
you need a prescription after this show now.
Yeah. got my prescription right here, buddy.
Hey, is that the peach? That's the peach one, isn't it? I knew it. That's good stuff.
He freaking knew it. Yeah, we have tons of great content over here on the PWC. Literally a show for you every night. We got you covered in all your wrestling content. And the really thing is that is super cool is we are getting some pretty cool interviews. Yeah,
got Mr. Kennedy or Mr. Anderson coming up, I believe, this Friday, right? You worked for the company, not the venue. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to say you were Boomer, man, but it's cool.
And then last but certainly not in the least, we can't forget our sponsor, Rootless Coffee. Use code Panda Coffee to save 15%. I did the combo where you got some coffee and a candle, and the candle smells amazing. I highly recommend doing it.
And dare I say that's some damn fine-looking coffee.
It is. It is indeed. And then also, we also have scored the rights to also play some Warrior Wrestling. So
yeah,
let's go.
And in case you missed it, at the top of the hour, we announced it. So next week, we're not going to be in our typical time slot because we are going to be at All Out, but we are really excited to announce that we will be doing a post show. And we are doing that post show from the Now Arena. That's right, from outside the Now Arena, where you can see all the chaos and all the fans and all the madness. It's a cool scene, man. I was there last year for All Out. I could say I was lucky enough to attend that. And I'll just never forget all the fans, just like how they were on this just a high, essentially. Now, I don't know if we're going to be on that same high as last year, obviously, because there's a lot to cover. And plus, two, we don't know what the fuck the main event is of All Out. But, hey, that's another story for another time. It's still going to be a pretty cool scene and an awesome weekend nonetheless. So tune in for that next week after the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'm excited just because I feel like this is going to be like we went to Forbidden Door, but I mean what? We saw Warrior Wrestling and we saw Forbidden Door.
Yes.
But this time we're going on Friday. We're
watching shows every day.
We're gonna see Rampage. We're gonna see GCW plus FanFest on Saturday, and then we have the pay-per-view. Like, my head's probably gonna explode by the end of the weekend.
Yeah, it's a week. Like I said, I was fortunate enough to be there last weekend for everything. I got to do Rampage, FanFest, GCW's Art of War Games show. It was crazy, man. There was so much shit going on. Like, it's a very intimate setting too, I think, from where this is at and where they're having it. Like, I can tell you a story of mine. I literally ran into John Moxley on Saturday night at a gas station. Like, now in hindsight, I feel bad, and some of you have probably heard this story before, but I'll tell it again. So I'm in a gas station, like, that's literally down the road from the GCW show, grabbing some snacky snacks because I'm a fat ass and I need my snacky snacks. And they're in Schaumburg, Illinois, which is where this is at. They pretty much, after midnight, they do not sell alcohol. So Mr. Mox himself coming to the gas station to get some beer, and that didn't work for him. However, I was able to actually have a conversation with him and referred him to go over a couple of towns over to get some booze, which in hindsight, I feel like an asshole because of everything that happened there a couple months later. But hey, he's doing great, doing fine now. So, and it's the summer of Mox, baby. So there you go. So, all right, Mr. B-Roll, I think that was a good plug of Palooza. How about we talk about, we kind of mentioned this a little bit, but let's talk about the birth of gang warfare, which was really, I felt like, in the 90s. And you have to start right here, baby. Throw it up. Not talking Bullet Club. We're talking NWO for life. The New World Order. Man, probably one of the most dominant factions of all time, really.
Is there ever a better like introduction to a faction?
That's a good point. I don't think there is.
Like set up
really
and build wise, like.
Yeah, and it's the thing is, like, most wrestling fans will recall, like, the idea, the premise for the NWO, it had already been technically done. They had done something like that in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But the big difference is like they had the right amount of stars to do it in WCW here in North America. And that's not to say they didn't in New Japan. I mean, with Masahiro Chono and those guys, it was awesome. But I'm just saying it, like, Hulk Hogan's one of the biggest names in wrestling history. And, it pains me to say that, but there's no denying it. He's Hulk freaking Hogan. And the fact that Hulk Hogan had been babyface for so many damn years, and now all of a sudden it's like, all right, we're turning you heel. It's like, holy shit. Yeah. And then with the whole, like, the way they showed up unannounced, the way that they got by with saying they weren't Razor Ramon or Diesel, but they didn't come out and say their names actually until after the fact. So the way it was presented, it was like you were seeing Razor Ramon and Diesel. So that shock factor, man. It was, yeah, you're right. It's hard to think of like another faction that started off that good. Well, maybe the Job Squad. Just saying. Throwing that one out there for Hambo. So, yeah, dude, I don't think you get a better start than those.
Yeah.
Now, where the NWO, I think, got where it failed, really, was just when it became a revolving door and had like every single damn member, and they built it more so as like kind of like almost a separate company, which that was kind of like how it was presented if you think about it, where it was like the NWO was going to take over WCW, and then like I think the first real kind of black eye, and I'm not trying to shit on the NWO because the NWO was a great group, but the sold out pay-per-view they did where it was like all NWO, like, man, like the concept was cool and stuff, but like the NWO was hip, right? They were cool, they were the end thing. So you would think, let's have the pay-per-view like somewhere awesome and cool, like New York City or Los Angeles or hell, I don't know, maybe Des Moines, Iowa. That's right. Sold Out was from freaking Des Moines, Iowa. No disrespect to anybody from Iowa, but I'm just saying, I do not think of Des Moines, Iowa as like a cool place to have a pay-per-view. But I'm just saying.
Go party in the cornfield, right?
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, like and like I say, when it become like a revolving door and it had there were some cool NWO members. Like I love Scott Norton in there. Mm-hmm. Love Buff Bagwell was a great member. The Giant, when he was in there, when he first kind of turned, it was cool. Although the Giant, it kind of got like weird. It was like the beginning for Big Show doing like 100 million different heel turns essentially. I guess the seeds were planted there. Because it was like he was with the NWO for a couple months, then he was out of the NWO for like a year, and then he went back into the NWO, and it's just like, eh. But then they split it up, and they did NWO Wolfpack against NWO. Like everybody was for the Wolfpack because the Wolfpack was the cool thing. But I just thought like the NWO Hollywood, that was eh. But then again, I'm not a Hulk Hogan guy, so like I say, I just wasn't feeling it. Bret Hart, I didn't really care for him being in the NWO. I was intrigued though when they tried to bring him back in 2000, like right when Bret got hurt from Goldberg, and it was going to be like Bret Hart, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Jeff Jarrett. But obviously that didn't work for many reasons. So, but yeah, you got to give credit where credit's due to the New World Order and what all they were able to do, and not this again. Either I lost you or the damn luchadors trying to take over the show again. So hopefully Mr. B-Roll's coming back to us. But yeah, the New World Order. But oh, there you are. Did your luchador counterpart try to take over there?
No, just more technical difficulties, I think.
Wah, wah, wah. Hey, we got to mention, too, before we stop talking about NWO, what about the parodies of the NWO? The LWO
Yeah.
or the Latino World Order? And, of course, we can't forget about the BWO, the Blue World Order.
Blue Meanie.
I love me some Blue World Order with the Blue Guy, Big Stevie Cool, and Hollywood Nova.
Don't you regret not meeting what was that the guy that was at that expo that we went to? Don't you regret not meeting him? Blue Meanie? Was it Blue Meanie?
Was Blue Meanie there? I don't remember.
Yeah. The guy
was
with
he?
Blue spiky hair.
Yeah, that would be Blue Meanie.
Yeah,
there were so many wrestlers there, though. Like it was like sensory overload, but I guess he was there.
It's true. It's true.
And the Meanie, I'm okay with the Meanie. I like the Meanie. I mean, the dude could do a moonsault, so. But I loved him like as the Blue Guy. That was freaking hilarious. Or when he was Blue Dust. So, but the BWO was a very comedic group, but it also like they succeeded. I mean, they was a matter of fact. If you look back on the history of ECW and factions, man, y'all may think I'm crazy, but I think the BWO is up there with like the Triple Threat or something. It's like some of the great factions that was in ECW. So
He said it, folks. He said it.
Yeah, I went there.
He doesn't regret it.
And I love the Triple Threat too, baby. But of course, in this time frame, we're talking the NWO, but we also got to give credit to the other huge faction of this era. And I got 2 words for you: Degeneration X. Or
you're gonna say suck it.
Yeah. I thought about it and I was like, yeah, DX. So DX, you gotta love, yes, and you gotta love the BWO and the Job Squad. You're absolutely right. Both great. Man, a lot of references to the Job Squad tonight. I guess Hambone, you're onto something, pal.
Maybe they sponsored us or something. Who knows?
Maybe we should. Hey, I know a guy that knows a guy that actually knows Al Snow and OVW. So I'm just name dropping some things.
And if you're over on the TikTok, we invite you over to Twitch. That's where we're live at. You can see me, my face, and XLJ the OG's face. You should definitely hop on over, talking all things factions tonight.
Or something like that.
Link's in the bio.
Link is in bio. So, Degeneration X. Originally started off with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Chyna, and Ravishing Rick Rude. That's right. And there was the crazy, the Monday Night Raw and Nitro where Rude was on both shows because Raw was taped. So, and then he joined the NWO essentially. So, I guess you could say Rick Rude. Now this isn't because Sean Waltman was in the NWO and DX. So. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I boring you? I'm just kidding. I had to give you grief. I love you, buddy. So, but yeah, you gotta mention DX initially when they started, and then I love DX when it was like after Shawn left and it was Triple H. I know, but heel Shawn was damn good, but he was also an asshole, and he'll tell you that. So, but you know what? I would probably be an asshole too if I had herniated disc in my back and felt like shit all the time. So. Give credit where credit's due. Shawn Michaels is a hell of a performer, and I would never take that away from him. But no, I liked DX in '98, man. When you had Triple H, you had Chyna, you had X-Pac, and of course the New Age Outlaws, the Badass Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg Jesse James. To me, that's my favorite interpretation of DX.
And hey, if I will do just a mini plug-a-palooza. Did you know Road Dogg has a podcast called Oh, You Didn't Know?
I didn't know that.
Well, now you do.
Well, I wonder how much longer that podcast is going to go because he's got his job back with WWE, I believe, or he's doing something with them.
Yeah, but they're allowed to stream on Twitch and stuff, so he can still do
Yeah. Because
I mean, for me, that's when that came out. That's when I knew Johnny Gargano was signing.
yeah, and yeah, it's amazing how the landscape in the WWE has changed when you change around some roles, if you will. Ow. Okay, and we lost you again, Mr. B-Roll. I see your beautiful little avatar, but we're going to keep on trucking here because we're talking about all things D-Generation X. The vignettes was awesome with DX in 98. Of course, we got to talk about when they invaded WCW. That is probably one of the greatest Raw segments of all time. And then just pulling up to the Norfolk Scope, and I love it. Like, we were at Brent mentioned this earlier at Squared Circle Expo, which is this awesome convention here in Indiana at Indianapolis. And we were at a panel that had the Acolytes along with D-Generation X, Road Dogg, and Billy Gunn. And Road Dogg was telling a great story about, like, when they were filming that, and all he was concerned about was, like, hiding weed in his helmet. Because, yeah, he smoked back then. Imagine that. But, yes. Good to have you back, Mr. B-Roll.
Did I go away? I didn't even realize.
You did go away for a brief moment, but you're back. So that's all that matters. But we mentioned DX, and you got to mention in the same vein, what about the Nation of Domination? They're bitter arch rivals. And both versions really were great of the Nation. I mean, when it first started with Farouk, and then he had Crush, Savio Vega, Clarence Mason as the manager, along with PG-13, JC Ice and Wolfie D singing the rap song, because we are the nation, live and in color. Farouk is the man, so get on your knees and stop. Something. I can't remember the rest, but yeah.
Yeah, that's getting clipped and going on TikTok.
Oh, now I want to, like, recite it because now crazy wrestling brain's like, okay, wait a minute, how does the damn song go? Like, we are the nation of domination. All right, I got to get off that. But anyways, the original Nation was cool, but then they did break off. But the good thing when they broke off is you got multiple factions. And kind of Hambone had commented on this earlier about the Disciples of Apocalypse, led by Crush. So it was like a biker gang with Crush, with Skull, 8-Ball, and Chains. And then you had Savio Vega forming his own group, Los Borricas, which was Savio Vega, Miguel Perez. Oh, my goodness. And I forget the other two's names. Wow. I'm drawing a brain fart.
I'm sure somebody's in the chat's got you.
Yeah. If Wheels is here, I bet Wheels knows. But I can't remember, like, after Miguel Perez. But there was two other guys in that faction.
You could
always Wikipedia that shit. Because my soundboard's not working, so I got to do it myself. But yeah, Los Borricos in that era. And then the new Nation of Domination, which everybody remembers, when you had pretty much Farouk along with the Godfather, D'Lo Brown. By the way, D'Lo Brown, in my opinion, one of the most underrated workers of all time. D'Lo Brown was amazing in the ring. Now, granted, I know people are going to talk about the accident where he accidentally, like, pretty much ended the career of Darren Drozdov, but I mean, freak accident, in my opinion, of what happened there, but that's neither here nor there. And of course, Mark Henry and somebody else you might know. You ever heard of this guy called The Rock, Mr. B-Roll? Maybe?
Yeah, I think I've heard him. I smelled what he was cooking before.
You smell what he's cooking. And really, him being in the Nation kind of really, like, started him down that road of being that heel character. Because, the Rock was coming out as that white meat baby face, Rocky Maivia, like, come here, I'll kiss your little baby. Mwah! To everybody was, like, tired of having him shoved down their throat. And it was, like, literally the chance of die, Rocky, die. Oh, man. But look how he turned it around. And it all started with being in the Nation. And he became so popular, so damn good, he ended up kicking Farouk out of the group. I mean, could you imagine getting into a faction in a group and you kick out the damn leader? I mean, how crazy is that, right?
That's pretty crazy. It'd be like getting a new job and then, like, taking over the boss's position.
Yeah, this is mine now. But yeah, I feel like the and that interpretation with The Rock, with Kama, or with Godfather, I should say, with D'Lo and Mark Henry feuding with DX, and also let's not forget Owen Hart was part of the Nation too, baby. That's right. The Rocket Owen Hart was a part of the Nation of Domination.
Hold on, let me change in my Owen Hart shirt.
But yeah, you got to give credit. Like the Nation against DX, that stuff, chef kiss, great stuff, and just really kickstarting one of the greatest rivalries, not only in WWE but in wrestling history, in my opinion.
Hey,
Triple H and The Rock.
You said you weren't going to give me homework this week, but you know what? I think I'm going to take upon myself to do the research and watch some of that.
There you go. And don't you worry, CDC. We are gonna get to the Bullet Club and some New Japan factions as well. But we're talking in the Attitude Era, kind of like the era of gangs. You also have to talk about one of my favorite factions of all time. How about the Hart Foundation? Keeping it in the family, baby. How about Bret Hart, Owen Hart, British Bulldog, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and Brian Pillman? I love the Hart Foundation in '97, man. I think one of the best matches to watch of theirs, you got to watch the Canadian Stampede, the big 10-man tag where they go against Goldust, the Legion of Doom, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Ken Shamrock. That is an amazing main event and match. That would be some homework I would encourage you to do. Even though I said I wasn't going to assign you to some homework, but that's a pretty dope match. You should check it out. But the Hart Foundation was awesome. Oh, about groups kicking leaders out. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. That's a reoccurring theme in the Bullet Club. But I am going to talk about that in a little bit more depth. But Ravens Flock in WCW, I got to mention them. And even Ravens Flock in ECW, if you think about it, or Ravens Cronies, or whatever you want to call it. But his Flock in WCW is kind of what I remember a lot more of, simply for the fact of one, WCW NWO were French, because the whole Flock was on there as part of the roster, and I always loved playing with them. So that sounded weird. I didn't mean it like that. Anyway, they mentioned earlier the Corporation, talking about the Vince McMahon led group with Triple H and The Rock, well, actually The Rock, and then later on Triple H, and then the Big Boss Man, Ken Shamrock, Test, those guys. That was a fun little group. And the Ministry of Darkness, we kind of touched on them. And then when they combined forces, that was kind of meh, I thought, but it was what it was, you know. I hated, that was one of the crappiest reveals, I thought, because it was just like, you know, who's going to be the greater power or whatever, and it ends up like it's Vince McMahon. He takes the hood off, and he's like, "It's me, Austin. It was me all along." And it's like, come on, man. You kind of saw it coming, but
yeah,
you know,
now he's retired.
Thank God. So, all right, are you ready for quiz time? Number 2.
I don't think I can do any worse.
Well, this is going to be kind of interactive. I'd like for the audience, y'all, to participate too, because I want to talk now about some of the worst factions of all time. Of all time. And this actually isn't, like, you can't really lose on this. This is more so maybe not a quiz, but like a discussion. Let's put it that way. Okay. I'm going to ask you which faction was worse. So we're going to have like kind of going to be a little bit like our other segment, Fantasy Warfare, we do on here. Okay. So I'm going to name you, I've got 10 matchups here for you, and I want you to tell me who was worse, okay? Number 1, who was worse, the Spirit Squad or the Right to Censor? So the Spirit Squad was pretty much male cheerleaders. Yeah, that's all you really need to know about that. And the Right to Censor was Stevie Richards' led group, where they went around parading, trying to censor the WWF or WWE in the Attitude Era, essentially, in like 2000, 2001.
Honestly, both those sound terrible, but I guess that's the point of this game. So, I'll say I'm more familiar with Spirit Squad than I was the other.
I'm going to say Spirit Squad on this one as well. Looks like CDC is saying Spirit Squad too. Yeah, so, yeah.
I agree.
Let's just say unanimous decision, the Spirit Squad. All right. The next one, the New Breed against the Filthy Animals. Now, the New Breed was in WWECW, and it was Elijah Burke, Kevin Thorne, I want to say Monty Brown, but whatever the hell his name was, and Marquise Corfon, that's right, and Matt Stryker. And the Filthy Animals was a group from WCW that consisted of Conan, Juventud Guerrera, Rey Mysterio, and the Disco Inferno, and Tigress, and maybe a couple other members, but I forget. I know they both kind of sound like crap, and that's because they are kind of crap. I'm going to say the New Breed just simply for the fact that I had WWECW, and I want nothing to do with WWECW. Oh, yeah, that's right. Ivory was. Yeah, Right to Censor did have a lot of good talent in it with Steven Richards, with the Good Father, Foul Phoenix, and Ivory. And Bull Buchanan. Cannot forget Bull Buchanan. A hell of a wrestler, too.
I mean, yeah, I would say at least with, was it Filthy Animals or something?
Yeah.
At least that's a cool name, kind of. So
you're going with the New Breed.
Yeah.
I think it's consensus across the board, folks. The New Breed is the worst of the faction. Now, this one's kind of a trick one. I'm going to give you the Radicals against the Revolution. And this is what's tricky about this is it's like kind of consisting of the same members, only Radicals was WWE and the Revolution was WCW. So the Radicals consist of Chris Benoit, Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko, and Eddie Guerrero. Whereas the Revolution consisted, yeah, that's a good point, CDC. And they were good individually, but not as a group. It never made sense why the hell Matt Stryker, the teacher, was in there. I never got that too. But yes, so talking about the Revolution. So in the Revolution, it was pretty much Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, Chris Benoit, and Shane Douglas. I'm going to say the Revolution just because, I mean, the other group has Eddie Guerrero, and it's Eddie Guerrero. I mean, come on. And I love me some Shane Douglas. No disrespect to the franchise, but and plus, too, this was in the Russo era of WCW, so they were there for about a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say Revolution as well.
Yeah, I think that's agreed consensus. All right. How about the Mean Street Posse against the Misfits in Action? So the Mean Street Posse, you know, is the group that was like Shane McMahon's buddies from the mean streets of Greenwich, Connecticut, wearing sweater vests to the ring and all the time. And the Misfits in Action was just like a group put together in WCW in like 2000, which was Hugh Morris or Hugh G. Rection, along with Chavo Guerrero or Lieutenant Loco, Corporal Cajun, a.k.a. Lash LaRue, and Fan Hammer, whatever the hell they were calling him. And, of course, Major Guns, the Fale. I'm going to say Misfits in Action definitely was the worst one. But, like, I don't know, there's just something nostalgia-wise for me about the Mean Street Posse. I mean, they weren't great, but it was funny. Joey Abs, I thought, was a pretty talented wrestler. And yes, yeah, Misfits. Yeah, Mean Street Posse was fun, man. I liked me some Mean Street Posse. So would you agree, Mr. B-Roll?
Yeah, I think I would agree. This is what the show's all about. I've got to be honest, like I'm not super familiar with a lot of these, but when you say the names, it does help. So
yeah, I'm going to give you the members' names. So next up, we got the New Blood against the Natural Born Thrillers. Now, this is in WCW. The New Blood was just a group of a ton of guys, really. It was like Vampiro, Jeff Jarrett, Billy Kidman, like Booker. Well, no, it was Booker T. Hell, I can't remember. Scott Steiner, I know, was in that group.
Heel group? Heel group?
Sorta, yeah.
Sorta?
Yeah, it was just like supposed to be, the New Blood was supposed to be like literally the New Blood of WCW. And the Natural Born Thrillers was like pretty much right after them a couple months, and it was kind of the same concept, only it legit was like new guys. Like you had Sean O'Hara and Chuck Palumbo, Mark Jindrak, Sean Stasiak, Mike, oh man, I can't think of his damn name. Mike
Awesome?
No, not Mike Awesome. He was the kind of the mouthpiece or whatever. But anyways, I can't even remember his name, so I'm definitely going to go with the Natural Born Thrillers as the worst one on this one. So that's my opinion. What do you think? Yeah.
I would probably
Like
have
they
to
both
agree.
suck. End of discussion.
Yeah. CDC says it's a draw.
Yeah, because it was kind of the same era, so I can take that. How about this one? Talk about racial profiling. Oh boy, we're going there. The Mexicools against Kaientai. So the Mexicools was a group of Latino wrestlers. You had Super Crazy, Psychosis, and Juventud Guerrero. And Mr. B-Roll, are you ready for this? This was Vince McMahon's wonderful idea. Like, I got an idea to make your entrance all the more greater. How about you come out on lawnmowers? That's right. They rode to the ring on lawnmowers. Good God, why? Why? And Kaientai was a group of Japanese wrestlers, which was Taka Michinoku, Dick Togo, Funaki, and can't forget about the famous Choppy Choppy PP segment on Monday Night Raw. I was getting ready to say, you read my mind, CDC. Mexicools was definitely the worst one. Although individually, all talented wrestlers, but that Mexicools group was just failed from the get-go.
You had
I choppy your pee-pee.
You had me at Tractors, and this has to be a personal record for male genitalia references on this show.
Yeah.
Like, I've lost count.
Will we top it? I don't know. That's the goal. All right, next one up, the Cabinet versus King Booker's Court. So we're going back to the SmackDown era and the Ruthless Aggression. The Cabinet was JBL's group, which was JBL, Orlando Jordan, and the Basham brothers, Doug and Danny. And King Booker's Court consisted of King Booker, along with Sharmell, of course, his queen, and Fit Finley, and William Regal. This one's kind of a toss-up. This is almost kind of a draw. Because I'll be honest with you, both of these factions, they were very short-lived, but they weren't bad. I guess if I had to lean towards one, I'm probably going to take the better one was probably King Booker's just because you got Regal and Finley in there. Whereas like Orlando Jordan and the Bashams didn't really go on to do as much. So I guess I'd probably say the worster one was the Cabinet. But them together, and this is kind of a reverse scenario. Them apart, not as great, but them together it worked very well.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking as well. So I was mainly just going with William Regal because it's William Regal, his lordship.
There you go. All right, we've been talking about them all night. Who's worse, the Job Squad or the Truth Commission? So you know the Job Squad: Al Snow, Blue Meanie, Hardcore Holly, Flash Funk, Gilbert, or the Truth Commission, which was the Jackal or Don Callis, Kurgan, Bull Buchanan was in that group. Yeah, I prefer Booker. Yeah, I agree, CDC. And there was somebody else in the group too, and I can't remember. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blanks on some people. Like I said, this weekend's been crazy for me. But I would say, I don't know. All this talk of the Job Squad, I think I got to give it to the Job Squad. Say Truth Commission was worse, just because like Truth Commission there wasn't anything funny about it. Like Job Squad was fun, and like I said, you got Hardcore Holly out of it, so you can't be mad at that. All right, 3-man band or the B team. So
the
B team. So you've got 3-man band was Heath Slater, Drew McIntyre, and Jinder Mahal, and the B team was essentially Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. Although I guess now I'm thinking about it, they weren't. That was the tag team. Shit, now I can't even think of the name of the faction B-roll. If somebody remembers it, it also had Adam Rose in the group as well as there was one more guy in it. Oh my God, I can't think of their name. Oh man, wrestling brain is killing me tonight, bro. It wasn't the B team. It was like shit.
3MB.
Yeah, well, 3MB was 3-man band, but I'm talking about this other group, and I can't think of who. There was 4 members, and I can't think of who the 4th member was. Oh, was he? Oh, yeah, that's right. Heath Slater was in that. Shit, he was in both of them. So there you go. There's the connection. Heath Slater, Bo Dallas, Adam Rose, and Curtis Axel. Something about Misfits or something. Son of a bitch. Now that is going to bug the hell out of me. But remember, you could always Wikipedia that shit. But hell, I can't even remember the name of the faction. So there you go. That's who it is. So hey, if somebody can name the faction in the comments, Mr. B-Roll will do a shot right now. Hey, you got to do it. You got to do it. It's the Social Outcast. That's it. Mr. B-Roll, do a shot, my friend. Thank you so much, Brett Stout, because I was having a freaking brain fart there. The Social Outcast.
Now, what did you just say the name was?
I butcher her name every time. I'm so sorry. Oh, Social Outcast was the name of the group. Shots. Everybody!
Did you already see that the comment was there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said I acknowledged her. Yes.
No, I said before you offered that I would do this, did you see that the comment was there?
Oh, it's like brie. Okay. I love brie cheese. No, I honestly didn't. Just do the shot, you pansy. Woo! I'm Castor Troy. No. Hey, we got one more of these. The Oddities, or the Dungeon of Doom. Oh, dear God. I'm obviously going with the Dungeon of Doom because I think the Dungeon of Doom is arguably, probably, or easily the worst faction of all time. Just the whole alliance brought in to end Hulkamania. You got Kevin Sullivan, you got Kamala, the Shark, the Zodiac, yes, no, Ming, Hugh Morris, the Giant, even though the Giant, or the Big Show, was a great competitor, but I liked when he first started as a rookie, you know. But that faction was the drizzling shits. The Oddities was kind of crappy too, but the Dungeon of Doom was like presented in a light like it's supposed to be super serious, and it was just the drizzling shits. Not a fan. So there you go, Mr. B-Roll. That was our little interactive pop quiz.
I did better this time, right?
Yeah, you did great, my friend. Real quickly, I want to talk about, we're kind of jumping around here. How about Evolution? One of my all-time favorite factions. I love this. It was kind of presented like the new Four Horsemen, essentially, but it was so smart how it was done because you literally had the old generation and Ric Flair, the current main event star in Triple H, and the 2 up-and-comers in Batista and Randy Orton. The number one thing I think of when you say Evolution, though, right off the bat, and I think a lot of people, well, there's that, but I think of the damn music. Some of the greatest theme music of all time was Evolution's with Motorhead, man. Oh, my God, that theme song was awesome. But Evolution, I loved it how it served multiple purposes. It gave Triple H, like, something to work with as far as, like, mold the new generation of stars. It revived Ric Flair's career when you think about it, because Ric Flair wasn't really doing anything. And Randy Orton is in talks as like the greatest WWE champion of all time. He may surpass the number of most world title runs. And, oh, yeah, there's that guy Batista, too, who we can't forget about, went on to his amazing career, his amazing run as world champion, as well as look what he's doing now. Damn fine actor, too. He is killing it. And it's not bad considering what were we – oh.
I was doing the Drax.
Oh, yeah, I loved him as Drax, man. What's your favorite Batista role outside of Drax?
Oh,
If you haven't seen it, Dune. He does a really good job in Dune, and I loved he was in it briefly, but Blade 2049, he plays an awesome character in the beginning of that. That's pretty badass.
The one I can think of that's actually, it's kind of funny. I can't remember the name of it, but like He's like
Is that
this,
the
like,
one with Kumal Najani where he's the with the Uber driver or whatever?
No.
DCD, I like what you're doing there, sir. Evolution.
He like ends up having to like watch this kid.
Oh, I think I kind of know what you're talking about. The
Bugging the crap
talented
out.
wrestler and a very talented actor. It's Dave Bautista. I love me some Bautista, man. Can't wait to see him go into the Hall of Fame. But Evolution, even though it was only around for a short period of time, made a huge impact in the world of wrestling. Now I want to talk about the faction that should have been great, and it just like it started off great. And you asked earlier, as far as like a faction did not have any better of a debut than the NWO. I may argue with you that this faction started off kind of among those lines, but it ended up dead in the water a couple months later. And that, of course, I'm talking about the Nexus. It still pisses me off talking about the Nexus because the Nexus should have been so damn good. Like I've talked about before on here, how like I kind of go through cycles of watching wrestling. Like I'm watching it and then I'm not watching it like weekly. The Nexus brought me back into watching WWE in like 2010 for that summer. I was very intrigued by that storyline. So it's pretty cool how it started because it came out of the blue. It was like on an episode of Monday Night Raw, essentially. And pretty much Wade Barrett, the leader of the Nexus, shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the other NXT competitors, which Mr. B-Roll, you may not know this, but before NXT became NXT, it was actually like a shitty variety kind of like competition game show, I guess you could call it, with wrestlers and stuff on it. It was terrible in its original incarnation. But anyways, all of them came out and band together and ended up like pretty much just attacking CM Punk, John Cena, and the entire ringside area, destroyed the ring. It's
And
that infamous
Bryan Danielson chokes Justin Roberts out.
That infamous scene there. You're absolutely right. That ended up getting him fired for a brief time. But that was such an awesome debut, and them just kind of running roughshod. But what killed them dead in the water was SummerSlam that year. So they had like a 7-on-7 elimination match. And so get this, this is the finish of it. Finish was John Cena against Wade Barrett, Justin Gabriel, and Heath Slater. And guess what? Super Cena prevailed and beat all three of them. It's like it was the biggest bullshit. Like, and I think even wrestlers like Chris Jericho and Edge was like that wasn't the finish they were pitching for. And I respect John Cena, but at that point, I wasn't a fan. So CDC, so you like the original NXT concept. Okay. I ain't mad at that. I mean, it wasn't for me. I just thought some of the competition was over the top. I didn't really like how they do what they had a soda drinking contest one week or something like that and stuff like that. And then the Michael Cole on commentary, I wasn't a big fan of because it was like heel Michael Cole, and it was just kind of like, I don't know. It wasn't for me, but that's cool though that you dug it, man. And like, I know there's other people out there like that dug it as well. So, had Skip, Skip Sheffield. You know who Skip Sheffield is, Mr. B-Roll? You may have heard of him. He's this asshole called Ryback. There you go. Because we here at the Panda Wrestling Company, we stand firmly behind our leader, Panda, and we safely can say, fuck Ryback. There we go. I said it. All right. So the Nexus, though, like I say, like after SummerSlam, it was just all downhill from there. And it just ended up, it fizzled out. It's a shame, too, because I think they had a lot of momentum, but oh, well, what could have been, right, if the Nexus was around. All right, let's talk internationally now. We're kind of getting up to date here. Let's talk New Japan Pro Wrestling. And we got to talk about, I love their philosophy because it's like kind of built around factions there. Definitely. Where everybody's like just pretty much you're in a faction. So, you know the main ones. You've got Chaos, pretty much led by Kazuchika Okada. Suzuki-gun, Minoru Suzuki's group. A lot of great members there like El Desperado, Zack Sabre Jr., and so on. My favorite faction, though, from New Japan Pro Wrestling, some Los Ingobernables de Japón, led by Tetsuya Naito. And that's a great group with Shingo Takagi, with Sanada, with Hiromi. I love, and of course you can't forget Bushi. Love me some Los Ingobernables. Group you're pretty familiar with, the United Empire, Mr. Will Ospreay's. Yeah, that's right, Will Ospreay with Aussie Open, with the big man Jeff Cobb, the Great Ohan. Awesome group.
Love
and
me
still
some
relatively
Will Ospreay.
new.
Will Ospreay. Love me some Will Ospreay.
But of course, we're talking New Japan factions, and there is one that we got to talk about. We got to throw it up, the Bullet Club. What? And like CDC said earlier, yes, a regular carousel of leaders pretty much getting their ass beat and thrown out, and then a new leader coming in. So let me present you all this question. A little fantasy warfare matchup here for you. I'm jumping the gun here, but all right, who wins in their New Japan heydays as leader? Who's the best leader? Is it Finn Balor? Is it Prince Devitt? Is it AJ Styles? Is it Kenny Omega? Or Jay White? That's a tough one. That is a match I would pay to see.
You know who I'm honestly probably leaning towards?
You're going to say Jay White.
No.
You're going to say Kenny?
No.
AJ? Well, who are you thinking?
I don't know.
Well, it has to be one of the four.
I'm kind of leaning AJ.
Okay. Well, he did have 2 IWGP Championship reigns while he was the leader of the Bullet Club. But you know who else had 2 IWGP Championship reigns and is still going? Your current IWGP champion, Jay White.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a tough one, man. I don't know. Like, honestly, they're all great, but I'm going to go with Jay White. And I'm simply going with him just because of, like, the he's still relatively young, I think. And, I mean, I'm curious to see, like, where they're going to go with him next. I mean, it seems like everything's...
They're all in their prime, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Jay White's just barely scratched the cusp of his prime. But I feel like Wrestle Kingdom's going to be Jay White and Okada. I mean, with Okada just winning the G1. And I think Okada gets his revenge probably at Wrestle Kingdom and gets the belt back, but who knows? Yeah. But you talked about this earlier in previous conversations, not tonight, but Mr. B-Roll called his shot, and I'm right with him. I think Wrestle Kingdom, you're going to get Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. I think it's happening.
I agree. And that brings up like an interesting point. And I am forgetting the term that is often used. I'm having a wrestling brain fart moment. But the term that is often used for the style of storytelling that New Japan does.
King's Road?
Yep, King's Road storytelling.
Yeah.
I think Will Ospreay's current situation is a perfect, beautiful example of that. Especially when you look at that promo that Kenny cut after Dynamite.
Yeah.
I've also beaten Okada, though.
The old Billy Goat, he is going to get him some here at some point. So, love our New Japan Pro Wrestling factions, but let's talk about some present-day factions here in North America. And, of course, we got to talk about the Elite, right? And the Undisputed Elite, or the Undisputed Era, or just damn well Undisputed. Those guys are all awesome. To see CDC knows King's Road.
I knew it was like road something, but I couldn't think of the term.
Yeah. It's awesome storytelling nonetheless. All right, who do you like more, the Elite or the Undisputed Elite? You're like, it's the same thing. It's not the same thing, bro.
No, I'm like, why do you even have to ask? The Elite. Are you there?
I'm there. I'm trying to think myself. I mean, they're both. I don't know. I love the Undisputed Era in NXT. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
free Roderick Strong. Let him come over to AEW and just be a part of that group. I would love to see that again, man.
So wait.
I love me some Roddy.
Yeah.
How about some other factions though? Current, like, well, this one's not so much current as there are no more, but still, you got to mention the Inner Circle, right?
Yeah.
And in that same vein, the Jericho Appreciation Society. All right, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Inner Circle, Jericho Appreciation Society. Which one do you like more?
Which one do I like more?
Yeah.
This is gonna surprise you. I'm actually gonna say Jericho Appreciation.
Really?
Because I like them as the obnoxious heels.
Yes, that's a valid point. I do like the Inner Circle, but you're right. Them as the cocky heels. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I would like Inner Circle better as a group, but it's like them as the cocky heels is like, and just like you were saying, the Jericho Appreciation Society
over the sports entertainers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you got their shirt on. How about the Best Friends? Gotta love the Best Friends, right?
Yep.
Are you down with the Best Friends? Sexy Chucky T, Trent, Orange Cassidy, and Danhausen, right? I guess Danhausen. Yeah.
You gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah, you do. I love me some Best Friends. But
I do think we are about time for a breakup with them, or at least something.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. As much as it pains me to say that, yeah. Hey, how about who they're meeting in the semifinals of the Trios tournament? Your favorite, the Dark Order. I love how the Dark Order started off like so serious, and now it's just like a group of hilarious guys. I love me some John Silver, man, some Johnny Hungy.
Ooh, the meat man.
The Meat Man himself. You gotta love some John Silver, Evil Uno. Man, I wish Stu Grayson was still there. I miss me some Stu. I know, like, comedically, he wasn't as funny as some of those other guys, but damn, he was amazing in the ring. Although he was funny on Uno's vlog. Huh?
Can we talk about the elephant in the room, though?
What's the elephant in the room?
The whole mystery partner.
Yeah, that was confusing as hell to me because we all knew it was going to be 10. I mean, like, what the hell? Like, they made it think like it's going to be Hangman or something. I don't know if they did that to pop a rating or what, but I wasn't feeling it. I was not a fan.
Because, I mean, if it would have been someone big, like a new signing or something like that, like, it would have leaked, like, out because Rampage was taped.
Yeah.
Like we said, yeah. I think they just assumed that people didn't necessarily watch Being the Elite.
I think you're absolutely right. Does Tony Khan even watch it nowadays, I wonder? Who knows, right? All right, a couple others we got to mention. How about the House of Black?
Love the House of Black.
Love the House of Black. Death Triangle.
Give Malachi Black a title push.
That would be awesome. I'd love to see him against Moxley. Yeah, sign me the fuck up for that. And we got to talk about the Blackpool Combat Club. Speaking of Mox, what a great group of guys there. And I just love how the premise, they're all just badass guys that want to beat the hell out of you.
They're just like dominant. That's the word to describe them.
I'm glad you said that. That's a great segue because we got to talk about what about the most dominant faction in the world of wrestling today. I think you got to say, what about the Bloodline? By Roman Reigns and the Usos. I mean, it's kind of hard to top that when you're the undisputed champion and undisputed tag champions.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
All right, Mr. B-Roll. I want to talk about the ultimate match of gang warfare, the ultimate match of survival. Let's talk war games. I love me some war games, man. And we're going to do a little
for GCW.
That's right. GCW Art of War Games 2 coming to you next Saturday, and we'll be there. We're going to have a vlog for it on our Cole TV. But I just want to play you a promo for the very first War Games, so just indulge me here. And then we're going to do a watch-along or some highlights of the War Games, okay?
Are you ready for it?
So I was born ready. One of the
you wanna
greatest
see-
War Games matches of all time. The Dangerous Alliance against Sting
This is
Squadron.
supersonic Wi-Fi from Xfinity. It's
Pay no attention to the ad
And with 3 times the bandwidth, the game
because
Slaying is
I can't skip it, unfortunately. Boy, this has just been a technical fuckfest all night, has it not, Mr. B-Roll?
It is what it is.
All right, here we go. How about that, Mr. B-Roll? I would encourage you to go back and watch that match in full. You can watch it on Peacock. It's an awesome match.
I mean, those War Games matches are just like they're insane and they're fun.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. So, yeah. The War Games, though, was the perfect match to end a group's food. You can take the thing off now.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's
Sorry,
okay.
I'm just
You've
like
had a couple shots. It's
I'm
okay.
sitting here like thinking about like War Games and like just like yeah, like literally here. I'll give you my thought process. Like, man, yeah, Blood and Guts was really good. Yeah, there was some NXT ones that were really good. Man,
But the original is just something
Yeah. If they
special.
like, when did Triple H brings that back? Like,
Oh, I think it'll be on the main roster before you know it. No doubt about it.
That was my like thought process. That was my train of thought right there. So
Okay, one thing we like to do here on Learn the Ropes every week, we got to do fantasy warfare here real quick. And here's your fantasy warfare match for this week. Feel it's apropos. Who wins the New World Order against the Bullet Club? Oh, I went there. Because Bullet Club, a lot of people, and they'll even tell you, is like a kind of a homage to the New World Order, essentially.
now we are strictly talking in ring, correct?
Well, I mean, with the NWO, there was all sorts of tomfoolery afoot. So,
Well, we're
yeah,
talking
sure.
like in a match.
All right, yes, in a match. For this argument, in a match. 5 best NWO members of all time, 5 best Bullet Club members of all time. And then that's a freaking discussion into itself.
So wait, you're telling me it doesn't have to be like a Bullet Club, like where they were in Bullet Club at the same time, or NWO.
Oh, now we're getting really tricky.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
That's deep. Because like you could put a team together of like AJ Styles, Omega. Prince
You're just
Devitt,
going to put the leaders. Now, that's not fair. Come on now. We got
Jay
to.
White.
All right, here, I will set the matchup for you. How's that? All right. Yeah, NWO just due to the number of members, which the Bullet Club's got a lot too, but you're right, NWO. All right, so here's who's representing the NWO. You're getting Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Macho Man Randy Savage, and I'm going to go ahead and put him in there. What the hell? Let's just say the 5th member, it's going to be Stevie Ray. No, I'm just kidding. The 5th member, let's put 6 in there, X-Pac. I think that's fair. So there's your 5. And they're going against the Bullet Club, which is going to be pretty much let's say Prince Devitt. Let's put Kenny Omega in there. Let's say Kenny Omega, Carl Anderson, Tama Tonga, Bad Luck Fale, and who should be the 5th man? All right, I'm going to give you another leader. What the hell? Let's put him in there. Let's put Jay White in there.
Okay. If you won't let us put all Bullet Club leaders in there, I would say NWO would win.
Scott Steiner is a good pick. CDC, I agree with that. Yeah, Scott Steiner would have been a good one. You said who? I'm sorry, B-roll.
NWO.
NWO. Yeah, that's a toughie. I'm gonna go for the. You know what? I'm gonna go to be the argumentative side here. I'm gonna say Bullet Club. I can't say that was. It would be the NWO. There's just too many of them. Hulk Hogan would find a freaking way. He's got creative control in his contract, brother. He ain't laying down for nobody. Kenny who? Kenny who? No, I'm going over tonight, brother. Yeah, I gotta go NWO. Reality of it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I mean, when
Boy.
when you put Randy Savage in there as the fourth one, it's like, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's the NWO. It's the NWO all the way. For life, if you will.
Oh, he says even if you
Yeah,
put
that's
all
a
the
good
leaders-
point. Even if you put all the leaders, you'd still pick the NWO. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you got to go NWO. Yeah. I was
I thought-
naive and
That
well, I
would be-
wasn't really saying it. I was just saying it to kind of argue with you, but you're right.
That
Yeah,
would
there's
be-
no.
Yeah. I mean, personally, from a personal standpoint,
Yeah, you love the Bullet Club.
I enjoy Bullet Club more.
Yeah. Yeah, which that's not a bad thing. So, all right, Mr. B-Roll, we somehow made it through. We apologize to you all for all of our technical difficulties and mishaps, but hey, it happens. So, but at least we got to talk a
The
lot
internet,
about
so.
some male genitalia tonight. You got to do terrible on some pop quizzes. You got to do a couple shots. I think it was a good episode.
I
What do you
mean,
think, Mr. B-Roll?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think the only way to close this baby out would be one more Plug-a-Palooza.
We need one more Plug-a-Palooza from the hype man himself, Mr. B-Roll. Tell us, what do we got going on Cole TV this week?
All right, so we want to remind you all over on Cool TV on Wednesday, we will be having a Hot Ones episode of I'm Your Huckleberry. As we teased earlier, one of us may or may not puke on that episode. There you go. So
Ooh,
that's
Mr.
I mean,
CDC just said he'd take the Main Event Mafia over them. Wow. Main Event Mafia from TNA. Shit, we didn't even touch on any TNA factions. There was a ton of them.
well,
but
we
anyways,
already
back-
went like 5 minutes over time, so
So back to your Plug-a-Palooza, though. I apologize, Mr. B-Roll.
oh, it's all good. It's all good. So, and then on Friday, we will also have our All Out prediction show. And then also got to remind you about the following week. There will be an All Out week at Cole TV. Tons of vlogs, tons of behind the scene footage. Heck, you could even say we're going to have so much footage, we could almost make a movie.
Just saying, you never know. And hopefully we're gonna get CDC on some of that footage, because I know you're going to a lot of the shows we're going to as well. Hopefully you and Russell and Panda and any other members of the Panda Wrestling Company, or any of you out there in the Panda Wrestling Company nation, like Mr. B-Roll said earlier, don't hesitate. Come up to us, talk to us. We would love to talk some wrestling with you. And hey, you can be you can be in our vlogs, or you can be part of our after show, which we will be having next week. That's right. Learning the Ropes will not be in its regular time slot next week, because we're going to be at All Out. But once the pay-per-view goes off the air, we are coming to you live from the Now Arena outside, where all the madness and all the fandom will be all coming out of the arena. You'll get to see it with us. We're going to talk about the crazy event that is going to be All Out.
Yep.
So look
So
for that next week after the pay-per-view goes over, which I'm assuming the pay-per-view is probably going to end around 11:30, midnight, something like that. But we will be on for a little bit here, learning the ropes live from the Now Arena.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby! Somebody call my mama. It's going to be a damn good
Yeah,
weekend.
and we don't know who all will show up on the Learning the Ropes or the All Out post show. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
going to be,
You just have to tune in and see.
yeah. Try to get Panda, may get Russell, gotta get CDC. He's hung out with us through all these technical difficulties and everything. So
Yeah,
there you go.
Who knows?
I mean,
you're just going to have to tune in and see. It's going to be a crazy, crazy night for sure.
yeah. And then, I mean, also got to remind you at least one more time that if you would like to save some money, save big money at Menards, no, not Menards, actually at Sweet Darl Face Creations, use code CELEBRATE20 to get you a sweet shirt like XOJ OG has over there. You can get a Learn the Ropes shirt. You can get a Cole TV shirt. Save 20%. Use code CELEBRATE20. Links in my bio. Also, if you have found us here tonight and you've hung on with us, why not go ahead and drop a follow? Maybe even subscribe. If you have Prime, you can subscribe for free. So,
Because there's more to Prime.
I mean, we got exclusive content. We have all your favorite Panda Wrestling Company shows. We have access to Warrior Wrestling, Real Pro Wrestling,
And we're just growing day by day. Who knows who's going to pop up
Exclusive
next?
interviews coming. Like, man, yeah.
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 Anything can happen. So
Anything can happen. Make sure to tune in tomorrow night for Raw with Russell. And
also, don't forget to get your coffee over at Rootless Coffee.
Use code Panda Coffee.
That's right. 20 or what? Shit, I can't even remember. I'm so like
15%.
15%. I was thinking of our merch. It's 20, but
Yeah.
Panda Coffee's 15. So use that code, Panda Coffee. That's what we're
The
doing.
smell of this coffee alone is worth it.
Yes.
Here,
Agreed.
I didn't let you smell the coffee earlier.
Oh yeah, I got the can. Oh, that's pleasant. That is nice. So, all right, my friend. It has been another amazing night here on the Panda Wrestling Company channel, but we have got to call it a night, folks. We have had so much fun being with you all here tonight, talking to you about all things wrestling and learning the ropes. And thank you all for sticking through us, even through the technical difficulties. We love you all. And we can't wait to see you next week. Once again, live from the Now Arena, the All Out Post show we will be doing here on the Panda Wrestling Company. Just tune in over here right after the pay-per-view ends, and we will be live and in color, if you will. It's going to be an awesome time.
We'll probably, like, as it can time, we'll try to get details thrown out on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, look, follow Mr. B-Roll and myself on TikTok. That's not another shameful plug, but no, seriously, look for us on there, and you will see, like, some more information. So we keep talking about this now. Our plan is to do it from the Now Arena, but we all know some craziness may happen from that pay-per-view. We'll be live in some capacity. Let's put you that way. Our
Whether
goal
it's from our hotel room or
yeah. But hopefully we don't have the technical difficulties that week as we did this week. So there we go. Just throwing that out there. But it's been an awesome good time, man. Can't wait. Are you excited?
I am stoked. Like, I mean, like, just full wrestling weekend.
Yeah. And once again, just to kind of talk like we talked at the top of the hour here, enjoy this week, folks. It's going to be an amazing week for all of us professional wrestling fans. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. I'm XLJ the OG.
And I'm Mr. B-Roll. And if you could indulge me for just one more brief second, sir. Just
Did we
one
forget
more.
something?
One more cheap plug, like you were
Okay.
saying. Go follow my dude.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you. Go
That'd be
follow
cool. Hey, I'm getting up there. I think, and shout out to all the people who's kind of jumped on the fun. I think I'm almost up to 300 followers or something. So we're getting there because I want to go live like everybody else. I want to be like the cool kids. So appreciate the love, Mr. B-Roll, and hope
Don't go
we will
follow
get there.
me. Go follow him. Go follow him. He is
Follow us both.
He is the reason. He is the one that got me into this mess. We call professional wrestling. So go follow him.
Well, we are glad to have you, sir. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for the love, and thank you all for joining us here tonight on another episode of Learning the Ropes. And once again, don't forget to join us next week. Special time slot. Tune in after All Out, and we will be live here on the Panda Wrestling Company. It's going to be an awesome time. So, and once again, enjoy this week of wrestling because it is going to be amazeballs. So, had to get one more genitalia thing in there before we close it out. Sorry, not
we're in
sorry.
the double digits now, but that's okay.
There you go. So, all right, folks. Once again, I'm XLJ the OG.
And I'm Mr. B-Roll.
And we'll see you next time on another episode of Learning the Ropes. Good night, everybody. God bless.